Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday night, The Kingdom Way, and we are talking about the book, The Biblio Diet by Jordan Rubin and Josh Axe. And I don't know how far we are, but we'll get to that. Before we do that, I see that Pat's popped into the room,
I
and we're
did
going to find
pop
out
in.
how Pat's week went. How'd your week go, Pat?
Well, it went good. It good. Here in Pittsburgh, we do have cloudy weather. It makes you kind of sad or whatever. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Not energetic or anything like that. But once the sun comes out, like it was today, it just makes you feel so good. So
Yeah,
weather really is a factor here. I'm sure it's in Canada too, maybe, because I hear you say
absolutely. Yeah,
yes. Yeah. And some places, like I lived in Florida for 6 years, and it's sunny every morning. But you know what?
nice.
I was so used to Pittsburgh. I thought, oh, I used to pray for a cloudy day. It's crazy,
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
because you
Not
were
as many
used to it.
cloudy. Yeah, I was used to it. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
and it was so hot. It was too hot for me.
in
It's
Florida.
just yeah, too humid. I can't.
Yes.
I don't have a hard time breathing, but I do have a hard time breathing. I don't know how that sounds, but the humidity bothers my breathing. Let's put it that way, and tires
I
me
used to go
out.
down there to Panama
Mm.
City Beach to Christian
Oh,
International. And when I would go down there, the drive is fine. It's air conditioned in the car. But then I step
yeah,
out of the car and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, this is like a sauna. And I
right.
did not like that at all. Mind
See,
you, we're right
see,
on the Gulf. So on the
yeah,
Gulf, it was nice. You got a breeze off the water, but it was just way too humid for me. So when I lived
see,
on the Kalahari, in Botswana, that was nice and dry, when it's not the rainy season, but it's nice
yeah.
and dry, sunny all the time, beautiful
For goodness
skies at
sakes.
night.
Oh,
That
wow.
I can take. And then
Okay.
Canada, where I am now, we actually have sun now and the grass is
Yeah.
green, so spring is coming.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
winter time, I could skip
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like it too cold. I don't like it too warm. And where I live, it's right between the two lakes, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, and Niagara
Oh,
River.
yeah.
So it also gets really humid in this area. Not
Oh,
as bad as
okay.
Florida, but it
No,
does get
right,
humid.
right. Okay, okay. Yeah, it does make us in your, I guess, I don't know if you call that your personality of weather or whatever, but you have your preferences, that's for sure. That you feel better with, Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think well, you have your preferences, and some things affect that. I mean, what we eat affects that because,
Yeah.
if you're not eating certain things, you don't feel the heat. If you're very thin, you may not feel the heat so
Oh,
much
yeah, I never thought of
either,
that. Yes. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you adapt to where you are,
Okay.
at least
Yes.
to a degree. So
Right.
if you constantly live in a place, say like Florida, that's humid, you do
Mm-hmm.
tend to adapt to that. And if you
Mm-hmm.
constantly live in a place that's cool or cold, you
Mm-hmm.
tend to adapt to that. Because when I
That's true.
lived in Botswana, when it's 36 degrees, although it was dry, I'd be like, it's a nice day. Here,
Ah,
oh my goodness, I'd be dying.
yeah.
In fact,
Yes.
when I moved back to Canada, for the first at least 2 years, I felt like I was freezing to death. I was
Oh, for
so
goodness
cold,
sake. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because I wasn't used to it.
Right,
So you
right,
do
right.
you do tend to climatize to wherever you live, at least to a degree. But where
Right.
I am,
Right.
and probably you too in Pittsburgh, we have seasons. And so
Mm-hmm.
every season we have to
Mm-hmm.
adapt, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we see
Mm-hmm.
it in the springtime. So right now it's spring. And today's a beautiful day. It was 66 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 18
Okay.
in Celsius. And we would see people outside in shorts and a tank top
Right. Right.
because
Right
they
here
think
too. Yeah.
because it's warm.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it's
Yes. It's
really not
amazing.
that warm. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's okay,
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
really quite
Mm-hmm.
that warm.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about weight loss, and I've been in it for so many years, and I see these people. Group support in my thought, is so very important for most people to keep their weight off. Okay, group support, and I
I
still
agree.
see some of my members on Saturdays. In fact, six
Mhm.
of these members are 100-pound losers and they
Yeah,
have kept their weight off. I think I mentioned that to you before. No, they're not perfect. They're not perfect,
great.
but they've kept the majority off. Okay. So I just looked that up. I just Googled it. I Google
Mhm.
everything. And
Yeah,
I thought, because it was one time when one of the people come in when I was leading, and she said, "Do you know the percentage of keeping your weight off, Pat?" And she says, "It's 2%." And I said to her back, and I don't know how I thought of it so quickly, well, I think I'm going to be one of the 2% that keeps their weight off then. That's the way I'm going to
good.
look at that. Okay, because I never looked up percentages or anything to tell you the truth. Well, I looked it up, and it's 80 to 90% don't keep their weight off that are 100-pound losers.
Yeah.
And I really, and I am very proud of these people that I see every Saturday that have kept most of their weight off, that's for sure. And I really tell them that too, because I know it's I was 36 pounds overweight. That's hardly nothing compared to what they lost, okay? And
Right.
and I was a leader, so I had to keep my weight off to lead. And so I had to learn these and I'm just looking it over, and obesity is not caused by lack of willpower. Everybody thinks it's some kind of willpower. I don't know if you feel that way, Kathy, but most people think it's a willpower, and that I don't have that willpower. I can't make these decisions and different things like this. And it's not willpower.
No, it's
It's
not.
changes in mindset that we talk about all the time. It's
Mhm.
changes in mindset and
Mhm.
changing habits, okay, into healthier
Yeah.
habits. And how do you feel that you kept your weight off? How do you feel you have done that successfully?
Yeah. Well, I haven't kept all of it off successfully. I'm still 100 pounds down, but I'm not the 100 and whatever it
Well, that's what
was,
I'm
50,
saying. You don't have to
right?
be perfect. Right, right.
Um, it's a battle. It continues to be a battle, I would say.
Yeah.
You get into
Okay.
a pattern.
Okay.
I develop new patterns. So the new patterns are helpful. What's
Yes.
difficult is when you get out there with other people and other people are eating all this stuff and you remember what that was like in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
hmm, like, don't you think I could have a little piece? Like, surely I could have
Hmm.
just a little bit, but I know
I
that's a
know.
trap. That's a
Right.
trap because it's
Right.
a slippery slope. But it's getting into a new pattern so that I know that I eat this for breakfast or this for lunch or that for
Yeah.
that. And
Yep.
I find it
Yep.
easier if I do what's meals on repeat, just repeat the same thing. Then there's no
Hmm.
question. It eliminates
Hmm.
from my mind all of this noise. It's like, what am
Right.
I going to
Right.
how am I going to make
Yeah.
that? Maybe I should look at some recipes. And you're so focused on that instead of being
Right.
focused on life. And it's really
Right.
important, as you're just sort of alluding to, connecting with other people. And the reason it's important to connect with other people is really because of mirror neurons. So mirror neurons, I'm just going to fix this so I can see myself too. Um,
Hmm.
don't know what that means. Anyway, mirror
Yeah.
neurons are where I see you doing something and I automatically copy that. I see you do something and I copy
Oh.
that. So you're hanging around with this group and we become like the
Yeah.
five people we hang around with the most.
Uh-huh.
So if everybody in my group or my tribe, if you want to call it a tribe, is
Right.
healthy, is wanting to make, stay healthy basically,
Hmm.
is eating according to whatever plan, then I want to do that too. I want to be part of the group, right?
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so it's really beneficial. It's like monkey see, monkey do. So the people that
Right.
hang around with people, all they're five most people, and
Uh-huh.
if they're eating junk food all the time, we're going to want to gravitate to the junk food.
Right. You're
But if
right.
we see people and they're having,
Yeah.
meat or maybe meat and salad or something like that, then we
Yeah.
want to do what they do.
Right.
And there's
Right.
lots of science behind that.
Right. And a lot of people actually lose friends over getting down in weight because of
That's right.
that. They have actually lose friends. And they used to come in and talk to me about that. And I say, I'm sorry, I lost some friends too. But they're
Yep.
really not your friends if they feel guilty because you're eating healthy,
Yeah.
compared to them.
That's
They're not your friend. They're not your friend then. Because half the
yeah.
time you're eating healthy because I know I had was on the verge of high blood pressure at a young age, and I
Yep.
didn't want that high blood pressure at a young age, that's for sure. So I that's why I started, because of health reasons, and so you start because of something dramatic that you want to change about yourself by eating healthy, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Well, that's it.
So how
That's what
you
happens with addictions too. We have this
ah
addiction to these processed foods or whatever. But people
yeah
that have
yeah
an addiction and they stop their addiction, but they're still hanging around people that are addicts, the addicts are going to want to
mm.
pull them over to their side to
Mm-hmm.
normalize it. Because if
Right,
they don't pull them over to their side, then they're feeling like, oh, I need to do something, but I don't want to do something kind of thing.
right,
You know,
right,
I want you
right.
to join me in what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
join me.
yeah.
So they're
Yes,
always
yes.
pulling. And this is where it
Yeah,
becomes a problem sometimes in relationships when you've got one that is so caught up in their addiction, but the other one is breaking free from it. And then they have that conflict because the one says, oh,
right.
come on, let's go out
Yeah.
and eat at whatever junk food palace. Okay, let's
Yeah,
go
just
eat at
once,
junk
just
food
once. Let's
palace.
do this
Yeah,
once,
that's all.
just
Come on.
once. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
let's go out to the dessert house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the other person is
Mm-hmm.
saying, no, I really would like to eat like this. I really don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes a conflict, it becomes a stress in that relationship. And so the
Yeah.
relationships can break apart
Yeah.
over that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, friendships, like you said, you've lost,
Yeah. Yeah.
or maybe you don't, lose them as in, I'm never going to talk to you again. It's just kind of, they don't bother inviting you because they know
Right.
that you're
Right.
not going to be fun.
Right. Yeah. 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 That's in drinking too, because I'm not
And
much of a
drinking
drinker.
too. I don't drink at
And I
all.
used and I used to get that, aren't you going to have a drink? Aren't you going to have a
Yep.
cigarette? All these things, you know what I mean? Yeah, but
Sometimes it's even family sometimes. They're like, well, I don't
yeah,
really want to invite her because like, she's not going to have dessert with us. She's
yeah,
not going to do this. She's not going to do that.
yeah, that's
So
true. That's true.
don't bother
Yeah,
because we're having this big spread and it's
yeah,
just a waste. So we don't need to invite, that person. Mm.
right, right. So what do you call it when all this you set your goal and that's what you want to do no matter what happens around you? What do you call that in a person, that makes them successful like that? Is there a
I
word for
think,
that?
well, to start with, you have to have a why. Why
Oh,
do you want to do that? You've got to have a why. And you were saying my why is I did not want high blood pressure. And you
yes.
might have had other
Yes.
whys as well. But
Right.
my why to start with was a workplace competition. So I was leading
Ah,
a workplace competition between two groups. And I was leading the groups, right? Because I was
yeah.
supervising these two group homes. So I had my
Okay.
teams, both make their goals. So each person made their own health goal, right? And
Right.
if they made their health goal, so we've got two homes. If they made their health goal that week, we'd
Hmm.
say, great job, wonderful. If they did not, they had to put $1, which we call a loonie, into a pot
Okay.
because they didn't
Okay.
make their goal. Not
Okay.
everybody wanted to lose weight. Some people wanted to make sure they walked whatever distance. Some people wanted to make sure they did their Pilates every day or
Uh-huh.
whatever
Yeah,
their
yeah.
health goal was.
Right,
So
right.
if they did their goal, great.
Hmm.
If not, they put a loonie in the pot.
Hmm.
After 12 weeks, whichever
Hmm.
pot had the most money, so that meant that
Hmm.
they didn't make their goals each week as much, they had to give that
Right.
pot to the other household.
Really?
And then that team could do whatever they wanted with it. They could split it
Right.
up they can donate it to that group home. They can do with it
Right.
whatever they want. And
Oh, wow.
so because I was
Wow.
leading this competition, I
Uh-huh.
thought I have to do it. I mean, my
Right.
goal was to lose weight. I don't know what it was at that time, probably around 250 pounds, maybe. I don't really know. Can't remember what I
Uh-huh.
was. No, I
Yeah.
do remember what I was. I was 256 when I started that one.
Wow.
And so anyway, I thought, I have to do this because I'm leading.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, how can I lose weight? I try to lose weight all the time and it never works. So I thought,
Okay.
there's one I haven't tried, and that was Atkins induction. So Atkins induction is where you eat less than 20 carbs a day. So you eat your meat and
Okay.
you
Yeah.
have low
Yeah.
carb vegetables,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
lettuce or broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, something like that, green beans.
Right.
So that's what I did. And I lost consistently 3 pounds every week, which is amazing.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it worked really well. And I got into
Mm-hmm.
such a routine. I ate 4 times a day, 8, 12,
Mm-hmm.
4, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
my 8 o'clock at night was just like a small snack. I had 24 almonds. I remember exactly what it was,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
right? And I just did
Yes.
the same thing every day because
Yeah.
that took away all that food noise. I just know that this is
Right.
what I'm doing
Right.
for breakfast. This is what I'm doing for lunch. For
Mm-hmm.
lunch, I always did a salad and I had a can of tuna. Done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. And I had two
Right. Right.
tablespoons of dressing on it. And then
Mm-hmm.
supper was always a stir fry. So I
Okay.
had vegetables and meat, and it
Yeah.
just worked well. And
Right. Right. Right.
so,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's why we always say you have to do what works for you, even if you have to change along the way to get your success, to lengthen your success with things, you know what I mean?
right.
But by not giving up and saying, "Oh well, I'll never be successful," you know what I mean? You can't say that, you know? Yeah,
Yeah, that's an important thing, Pat. We
yeah,
all have had times where, oh, we had a bigger helping than normal, or we did go to a birthday party and
right,
we just had a
right,
piece of cake. And we're like,
right.
oh man, rather than beat yourself up, say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, acknowledge I did this. Look at
Mm-hmm.
why you might have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's it. Then right
Yeah,
away, go right back on your plan. And I don't
right.
mean the next day go back on your plan because that's always putting it off till tomorrow. I mean right
I
away,
know. I'll get on it
right? So
tomorrow.
that's
Yeah.
right. So it's
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the afternoon and
Yeah.
you ate this thing that really you did not want to eat, but you wound up doing it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means by right after that, you're back
Yeah.
on track. So when dinner
Right.
comes
Right.
around, you're having your regular dinner. You're not saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, because tomorrow
Yeah.
never comes.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I don't know why it's hard for some people to learn that theory. You know what I mean? I just don't know what it is that causes people just to give up. I see them in the grocery store, my members sometimes, and they're so large that I go, I know that person. And then all of a sudden I go, oh, wow. You know, and I'm not judging,
No,
but
I
I'm
know, I
saying
realize
why.
that.
Yeah, I'm not
Why? Yeah,
judging because
and
I'm
I
not that type
think
of
that
person.
I think there's a few factors behind that. There's a
Okay.
spiritual factor behind that, which is the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak,
Okay. Yes.
right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's
Mm-hmm.
also another factor, and that is where we live today. In this society where we live, we're in North America. We have neuroscientists that create these products with chemicals that are addictive. They know they're addictive.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they purposely put it in there because they want it to be hyper palatable. It's going to taste really, really good. They want it
Mm-hmm.
to be
Mm-hmm.
something that you're going to want to go and have more and more and more. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason they
Mm-hmm.
do that is so that they can sell more and more and
Right.
more. So it's about corporate
Right.
interest. It's not about the health of the person.
Right. How
So we
sad.
have that everywhere. It is so readily available everywhere and it's cheap. And so
Yes.
people
Yes.
will stop off in the afternoon. They're feeling a little tired, a little sluggish,
Mm-hmm.
and they stop
Mm-hmm.
off at the gas station to get gas on the way home. While they're there, they see a bag of chips or whatever.
Yep.
So they pick
Yep.
that up, maybe a chocolate bar on the side and maybe a Coca-Cola too, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so they're like, just a little snack before in the
Mm-hmm.
afternoon. It's like, how harmful
Mm-hmm.
can this be? Well, it's
Yeah,
very harmful actually to our bodies.
it
And
is. It
and
is.
it sparks this craving for more and more and
Right.
more, and your body's
Right.
calling out for it.
Right.
So I think that that's another factor, the addictive foods and
Mm-hmm.
also the spiritual component to it, and also the
Okay.
people that we hang around with again, the social
There you
part.
go. There you go. There you go. Right.
Because in our
Right.
society, everything is built around food. You say to your friend,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you want to go out for dinner? Hey, you want to go for a
Mm-hmm.
coffee?
Right.
Want to come over to my house for a party, which means food?
Mm-hmm.
Want to watch
Mm-hmm.
the football game together? Whatever,
Yeah.
it means food. Or go to the baseball
Okay.
game. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Have a hot dog and a pop, or
Yeah.
soda, right?
Right.
So
Right.
everywhere.
Everywhere, right. Yeah, I go to Sunday school with my friend Jenny, who lost 162 pounds. She's not perfect now. She gained some of that back, but still,
Sure.
wow. And now, they have birthdays in Sunday school, and it's donut day then. And I kind of got mad at one of the women one time because they were making fun of her not eating a donut.
Yeah.
And I had to speak up. I'm sorry. And I'm not usually like that. But I said, the reason why she is, and they knew this, the reason why she's not taking that donut is that she had to lose 160 pounds to get healthy. I got kind of mad. I'm sorry. And, but that's how important food, like you say, people eating together is sometimes. You know what I mean? They'll even
Yeah.
pressure somebody into eating that, It's really something. Oh,
Well,
well.
even and everywhere you go, like you said, it can just be at church, at a Sunday school, in the schools themselves. Today I went
Yes.
to a Bible study at church, and sure
Okay.
enough, what do they have at the Bible study? They
See?
passed around two trays of different kinds of baked goods.
Uh-huh.
One was brownies and one was a loaf that somebody all homemade. Now I love homemade
Yes.
stuff, of course.
Sure.
I just have to pass it by because
Yeah.
if I
Yeah.
start with that, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
continue with that. And my
Exactly.
body, even if I just had one piece, my
Mm-hmm.
body's going to react to it. So I
Mm-hmm.
know
Mm-hmm.
for me, this is not a
That's
good
not the
choice.
food. Yeah.
And
And
then
I think you,
after that, they had lunch. So at lunch, they had several buns or croissants or whatever, and cheese and luncheon meat, and they had soups.
mm-hmm.
Okay, that's reasonable, I suppose, except that I can't eat those things or I don't eat those things because the
Right.
soups all have pasta in it. I don't eat carbohydrates. They have vegetables in it. I don't eat that either. They had
Mm-hmm.
pea soup there, which is very high in carbs. They had
Mm-hmm.
buns, croissants, very high in carbs, not eating that. They have cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese I find to be constipating, so that's not
Oh no. Oh
happening.
no.
They have luncheon meat there, but I just go prepared with my own food. It doesn't
Oh
matter
good.
what other people think.
Right.
People may think
Right.
I'm crazy, but it was lunchtime, so I brought a couple of eggs. I'll eat
Mm-hmm.
boiled eggs. You guys can
Mm-hmm.
have your stuff. Enjoy. And you know what? The lady beside me had something to say. She says, "Oh, you don't eat carbs, but you do eat what'd she say? Salads or whatever, or you do eat pasta." And I'm like, no, I don't, because she
No.
doesn't know what carbs are, right?
Right. 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 Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. But and that's a good thing to do is take something for yourself because then you're satisfied. That's satisfying. Yeah, I agree.
And also the reason why we eat. Now, what is the reason that we're supposed to eat? We're supposed to eat to nourish our bodies. We're not supposed to be eating because of it's entertaining or it tastes good or
Yeah.
I just like it. Now, once upon a time, I would eat, I'd make cookies and I would eat, of course, two or three trays of it. And
Mm-hmm.
because they tasted good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I was a child, I did the things that children do. But when you grow up, you need to do the things that adults should be doing. And in
That's a good
fact,
point.
we need to become a parent to ourselves. So the little girl within me, Cathy would say, the little girl would say,
Mhm.
but I just want to have some cookies. Well, the big girl, Cathy,
Mhm.
me, I need to
Mhm.
say, you know what, little girl, you cannot have those cookies because they are
Yeah.
not good for you. But what you
Right.
can have in an hour when it's dinner time, because you're not
Yeah.
really hungry right now, is
Mhm.
this, that, or the other, which
Right.
takes me
Right.
to the next point. Hunger. Hunger is
Right.
the best appetizer. We're eating when we're not hungry.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
let ourselves be hungry. You know, the hunger hormone, which is ghrelin. So ghrelin is the hunger hormone. Leptin is when you're satisfied.
Okay.
God gave those signals to us to
Mhm.
speak to us. So
Mhm.
when your tummy is grumbling, or you're just
Mhm.
feeling that little empty, peckish, as some
Mhm.
people call it, that's
Mhm.
God speaking to you, saying it's time to nourish your body.
Mhm.
And
Right.
when the leptin kicks in and you're feeling satisfied, that's God speaking to you saying, you've had enough now. You don't
Right.
need
Right.
dessert or anything else.
Right. 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 Isn't it the truth? Isn't it the truth?
Yeah.
As we always say, knowledge is power. It really is. Knowledge is power. And
Knowledge
if you
is
don't
power.
absorb it, then I don't know what to do. If you don't absorb these different things, and say, hey, this will
Yeah.
really, make my life different, yeah,
Right.
happy,
And
a
the Bible
happier
says
life.
that
Yeah.
knowledge is power, but you have to apply the knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
Don't be like
Mm-hmm.
one, you look and you know what to do, but you don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's just like I think I told you before, going to a picnic and I love potato salad, but I liked certain potato salad. But I'd eat the potato salad and I'd say, "This is lousy potato salad." I'd eat the whole what I took though
Anyway,
of potato salad,
yep.
and because but this is lousy, and now why would we do that?
And we're not
Oh,
garbage pails. We're
oh,
children of
no,
God. You know, we
yeah,
were created. We were
yeah,
created
yeah.
in the image of God. So we're not garbage. But
Mm-mm.
oftentimes we treat ourselves like garbage, a garbage pail.
Mm-hmm.
When my kids
Mm-hmm.
were small, what would I do? I'd clear off the table because they never
Oh
finished their
yeah,
food, and I would clean it up, right? But I'm
I
not a
would too.
garbage pail.
Yeah, I was
And
too.
regarding, the ghrelin and the leptin, sometimes we just don't have um, that signaling very strong because we've ignored it for so many years. And when you
It's
ignore
true.
it for so many
Yep.
years,
Yep.
you become
Mm-hmm.
kind of dull to the signals. And if
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, then the best thing to do is set a schedule like I did. My
Right.
schedule was
Right.
8 a.m., 12, 4 p.m.,
Right.
and 8
Right.
p.m.
I
So
did
four
the same
times a
thing.
day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that way, I didn't have to think about, am I hungry? Am I not hungry? It was too much
Mm-hmm.
thinking power. But this way, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's 8 o'clock, time to eat. And I gave
Breakfast.
myself, I treated it like I said, Q4. So giving yourself medication 4 times a day. This is
Ah,
my prescription. 4 times
okay.
a day, I eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 8 o'clock in the morning, but give yourself an hour leeway. That's what you do with meds. So it could be seven, it could be nine, somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
there. And then the
Mm-hmm.
next meal is 11 to 1. And the next one
Mm-hmm.
is 3 to 5. So it gives yourself that bit of leeway, or 7 to
Right.
9 for the
That's
snack that
true.
I had in the evening, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And some people say, well, I just ate dinner and I'm actually still hungry. You know what I mean? But that's because you were overeating before and you don't have that stuff feeling a lot of times. After you feel
Right.
that just satisfied or full, mine had to be full. I have to
Mhm.
agree with that. My mother was satisfied, had to be full. And then I wasn't going to eat after that. But finding that stage that you say, no, I can go through and eat that much, and that's it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what would you say to somebody who has eaten their food, they've had a good portion, and they say, but I'm still hungry. What would you say to
Well,
them to do?
well, I was taught, okay, to say, walk away, wait
Mhm.
10 minutes, Do
Yep.
get busy with something else, okay? And then see if you're still hungry. If you are still hungry, have a small something small. That's what I was
I
taught.
100% agree. Yes,
Uh-huh.
because oftentimes it's our brain hasn't gotten the signal yet
Mm-hmm.
that we're full,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's just, our taste buds. It's like, oh, that felt good. Eating that felt
Mm-hmm.
good, and we just
Mm-hmm.
want to continue. But yeah, if you
Mm-hmm.
distract yourself, go do something else just for 10 minutes. A good thing to do is
Yeah.
a 10-minute walk. And if
Oh,
not a
that's a good
10-minute
idea.
walk, it can be anything else, but do something for
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
then you probably forgot about it. But if you're
Right.
still hungry at the end of 10 minutes, then go ahead and have something small that's
Yeah.
on your
Yeah.
plan. I don't mean a donut.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean
Oh, yeah. Oh,
something
yeah.
small that's on your plan.
Right, right, right. And that's why
Yep.
this book is enlightening on what foods to choose. You know what I mean? And it
Right.
does the clean foods, I guess that's what they call them nowadays, the clean foods, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Not all these processed different things. Yeah.
Right. Because the clean foods, what we want to do is eat food close to how God made it
Mm-hmm.
instead
Mm-hmm.
of all these concoctions. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
that man, meaning people, man is the only species who is smart enough to create their own food, but they're the only ones stupid enough to eat it, right?
That's a good one. That's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't it
What
the
is it?
truth? It
God
is
gave
the
us
truth.
everything that we need for life
Yes.
and godliness. He gave us
Yes.
everything,
Yeah.
including food to nourish our bodies, not
Right.
just the spiritual food, meaning the Word of God,
Mm-hmm.
prayer,
Hmm.
talking to
Right.
God, not just
Right.
that. He gave us relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and He gave us the food, the things that grow from the ground and the animals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a truth. It's a truth. And what it has grown into is something else.
That's right.
Um,
That's not food. That's not food.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that don't even realize that we are
Right.
so
Right.
detached from
Mm-hmm.
our food sources.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was going to, I guess, process an animal or something, and the person says, "Oh, don't do that. Just
I know.
go to the store and buy your hamburgers. You don't want to do that, or oh no,
Yeah.
you go buy the
Yeah.
chicken at the store." And they don't
Yeah.
realize that that's the same chicken. You
Right.
know, it's an
Right.
animal,
It's
and God
unreal.
gave us those animals to eat.
Yes.
Even
Yes.
on
Yes.
Noah's Ark, they had animals to
Right.
eat.
That's true. That's
Go
true.
back to
Yeah.
Genesis 9. Now, I know
Mm-hmm.
people always say, oh, yeah, but there's the rainbow diet. Look at in Genesis, they only ate the fruit from the trees and whatever. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But that was before the fall of man. The fall of man was in Genesis 3. So when sin entered the world, the plants all had toxins at that point because
Mm,
everything came under the curse.
mm,
And then in Genesis 9, they were told to eat meat.
mm,
And then when you get to
mm,
the New Testament, Peter, there was the whole sheet that was let down with the unclean animals. And Jesus said to eat that.
mm-hmm,
And,
mm-hmm,
so it's like, wow.
hmm.
So we can eat unclean animals, although I try not to because I still think there's some
Right.
reasoning why it's probably not that great for you,
Mhm. Yes, yes,
that for various reasons. But you
yes.
can. It's not like it's a
Right.
sin issue or anything like that.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So it's really comes down to simplicity in a way.
Yes,
In a way,
it,
you know?
it does.
Hmm.
Simplicity. And in Jesus' day too, it was very simple.
Oh,
They didn't
yes.
have shelves and shelves of cookbooks
Hmm. Hmm.
or every recipe
Hmm.
online that you could possibly imagine. They didn't have
Right.
500 different kitchen appliances,
Isn't it the truth?
right?
So that goes along with the money making scheme. Oh my
It
gosh.
it sure
That's
does. It does. Yep.
oh gosh.
All of those things. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
but it can be done. So anybody that's listening and they're
Right.
thinking, well, I don't know if I could do that. Well, you
Right.
absolutely can.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
connect with some others that are doing it,
Mm-hmm.
find out what other people are doing, and start to copy that. People that are successful, what are they doing?
Right.
Start to
Right.
copy that. And maybe that's not
Mm-hmm.
exactly right for you, but that's going to get you started.
Yeah, it does.
Or
Mm-hmm.
listen to this hour and we're going to learn a bit more
Right. Right.
every week.
Right.
So let's go have a look at our book.
Yep. Yep. Got
You
it.
got it.
Got
Hearing the
it.
Still Small Voice, Prophetic Words for Everyday Living, Linda Beebe. So God is always speaking to us. Like I said, he speaks to us through hunger and fullness. He speaks to us through what other people are saying. So this woman wrote this as if it was God speaking to her. But as I read it, God's going to speak to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So page 91. Surely I will give you the desire. Surely I will give you the desire of your heart. That desire I planted within you many years ago, but you need to give it top priority in your life. Focus on it with a single-minded determination. Let nothing of this world distract or entangle you. And when you grow weary, I will renew your strength and cause you to mount up with wings as eagles. I will give you victory in the very place you stumbled before. For it's not by might nor by power, but by my spirit that you'll receive your breakthrough, and nothing, absolutely nothing, shall stand in your way.
That's what we were talking about.
That's exactly what we were talking
Oh
about.
my gosh. It's
It,
amazing, isn't it?
it's been happening pretty much every week, right? We're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what is the
Wow.
desire of your heart? Like we said
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
what's your why? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
want to do this? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
want to lose weight? Why do you want to eat healthy? Or exercise
Right.
or walk? Why do you want to do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you get that desire, where'd it come from? It came from God.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you that desire.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we are the ones that need to give it a top priority. We
Mm-hmm.
can't be wishy-washy and
Right.
saying, oh,
Right.
yeah, I want to eat clean, but except for when I go to the birthday party, except for when I go for coffee, except for when I go here, except for that.
Yeah.
No, it's a top priority. I'm going to prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
So for myself, I say, I eat animal products no matter what. And I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on this month is a new mantra, if you want to call it that.
Okay. Okay.
I walk no matter what, which has been an issue because I walked a few days and I was doing really good. And then I
Uh-huh.
messed up my knee. I don't know
Oh
how I
no.
messed my knee up, but I think over walking. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay. So I've just reduced it a lot and I'm still walking. It's just not very much because my knee is
Right.
hurting. Right.
Right. Right. And that can
But
happen too. Yeah.
but no matter what, you're going to give it your best. So I eat on my
Mhm.
plan no matter what.
Right.
Or I read my Bible no matter what. I pray no matter what. That doesn't mean you have to
Mm-hmm.
spend all your time doing any of these things,
No. No.
but have a focus, a single-minded determination. This is what I am doing. This is my
Right.
path. I'm staying on it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
what the other people say.
Right.
It doesn't matter what commercials are coming on TV or
Mm.
what free coupon I get in the mail.
Yeah.
Or, right, someone gives you a
Yeah.
gift. Oh, look, here's a gift to go wherever. It doesn't matter. And don't let the world distract you. Don't
Mm-hmm.
let those commercials distract you
Mm-hmm.
or the people that are around in the world that are saying, come on, just a bit of this, just a bit of
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you get tired, because you will, right? When you're trying to lose weight, there will be periods where you will get tired and you'll
Yeah.
think, oh, I don't know about
Yeah.
this. Come on, can I just do some? Right? So when you grow weary, God will renew your strength and cause you to mount up with wings as an eagle. So what does an
Mm-hmm.
eagle do? An eagle flies above that stuff. I'm
Hmm.
not going to be at that level where
Hmm.
I'm with all this junk temptations and all of that. No, I'm flying above it. My
Hmm.
mind is above it. My mind is focused on the things above, not the things below.
Right.
And if we do those things, then God will give us the victory in the very place where we used to stumble. That's
Hmm.
pretty amazing.
It
Pretty
is.
amazing.
It really is. It is.
And
And
the last part, yeah,
when you
we're
recognize it,
recognizing it. Mhm.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Right. We're recognizing the last paragraph that it's not by might or power, but it's by God's Spirit. He wants you to
Mm.
have breakthrough. He wants us all to have breakthrough. And it's there for each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nothing, absolutely nothing will stand in your way if you keep those things in order. The
Right.
food, the people you hang around with,
Mm-hmm.
where you have your mind fixed. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's a few other things too. Getting enough rest,
Oh, yes.
getting enough sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because if
Mm-hmm.
you are tired, you're much more likely to just grab whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
getting enough sleep.
Right.
And the other component is get some sunshine, do some fun things. Life is to be fun. God has lots of fun in it. So get out in the sun, feel good, and stay on your
Right.
plan. Any
Right.
other comments there?
No, that's a good one. That you did it. You did it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it in a nutshell, right? That's how you are successful. And that's why these people that in my group have been successful all these years. They actually do exactly what you're saying. And every once in a while, I'll go back and ask them, why did you keep your weight off? And they'll say, because now I go on trips and can walk up mountains and I can do 5Ks and all these kind
Right.
of things. Yeah,
Yep,
and they don't want to return to what they could not do, you know.
that's right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because once you get into, quote, the promised land, you don't want to go back to Egypt, into bondage.
That's true. That's
And
true.
when you're eating all this food or the a lot of excess weight, there's a bondage that goes with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Christ came why? He came to set us free,
Hmm.
not just free from sin and death, but free from bondage.
Right. 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 Yes.
Well, let's see
Yes.
what the Biblio Diet has to say. We only have like 15 minutes left.
Oh,
That's okay.
really? Okay.
We're chit chatters.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
So we have looked at sourdough bread and other
Hmm.
kinds of bread. We've looked at meat, we've looked at dairy, and right
Hmm.
now we're going to look at fruit.
Hmm.
Fruit for thought. So while the world scrambled to adjust to a new way of life during the pandemic, I, Jordan, found myself at a turning point on our Tennessee farm. In 2019, we established an indoor and outdoor farming model to create certified organic and regenerative agricultural hemp products for growers, manufacturers, and producers in what we thought was an emerging market about to boom. This included greenhouses and more than 100 acres devoted to outdoor growing. We even visited Hebrew University in Jerusalem in January 2020 to meet with and learn from one of the most foremost hemp researchers in the world. However, just after that trip to Israel, I felt like we needed to pivot. I felt led to build a regenerative research farm centered on a perennial food forest along a multi-species livestock grazing system. We would plant varieties of fruit trees outdoors and in greenhouses. I became obsessed with sourcing the highest quality fruits from around the world, enjoying their unique flavors, planting the seeds, and growing them on our farm. All in all, we planted more than 160 varieties of tropical and exotic plants, many of which you'd never expect to grow in Tennessee, like guava or Brazilian grapes or jackfruit, key lime, and passion fruit, to name a few. Many thrived in our temperature-controlled greenhouses.
Mm.
I was struck that so many tropical fruits could be planted from seeds a fact that I logically understand, but seeing it in action was game-changing. My adventure began with a humble purchase from Whole Foods Market, 3 papayas that weren't genetically modified. Little did I know these papayas held a gold mine of seeds, more than 200 per fruit. I planted them all, and to my amazement, ended up with nearly 500 papaya trees
Oh my
from a
gosh.
$20 investment. Soon I
Mm.
ordered fruits from South Florida, Ecuador, even Thailand. Each fruit was a new discovery, an opportunity to plant seeds and see what would flourish. It was exhilarating. I focused on fruits that were highly pigmented and less hybridized, seeking natural, vibrant seeded varieties that promised the most nutrition. Josh and I are so blessed to be the first regenerative organic certified farm in Tennessee, and also probably the first to grow papaya in Tennessee soil. Our greenhouses don't just shelter existing plants, they're creative spaces where imported exotic plants dig their roots into our local soil to produce something truly amazing. During this fruit and seed planting experiment, I learned about and consumed many fruits I didn't even realize existed. I remember buying a wild banana. It tasted more like a plantain than a banana, and
Mm.
unlike a commercial banana, contained a large amount of black, hard seeds. It certainly wasn't the most delicious fruit I had ever tasted, but I
Mm-mm.
forced myself to eat all of it and get the seeds out. Let's just say I'll probably never eat a wild banana again,
Mm.
but that wasn't the worst tasting fruit I'd ever consumed. Noni claims that honor. No, Noni, whatever. Admittedly, I should have been prepared before eating a food that's been named dog
Oh,
dumpling
oh my gosh.
and vomit fruit. That's what
Oh
it's named.
gosh. Oh.
And is purported to chase evil spirits away by somebody, which it doesn't, by the way. Um, Trust me, garlic has nothing on Noni. To me, Noni tastes like a mix of battery acid and the
Oh.
sweaty clothes of a 13-year-old boy after football practice. Fun fact, this fruit is popular in the health and wellness community for its anti-inflammatory, immune boosting, and pain relieving benefits. It's also a staple in the medicine chests of traditional Polynesians. But don't worry, this isn't fear factor. We won't challenge you to eat gross tasting fruit. A special shout out to our Tennessee Farm Director Todd, who enjoys eating fermented raw noni by the spoonful. Good for him.
I'll say.
5 years into this journey, our farm is flourishing. We grow between 30 and 50 varieties of fruits indoors and out, including avocado, mango, fioja, whatever that is, sacred fig, hawthorn berry, mulberry, Russian apple, pawpaw, and persimmon.
Mm.
Josh and I have even incorporated these sweet delights into products for our companies. So, fruit is loaded with essential nutrients and provides the body with carbohydrates, which fuels energy levels. So, why do you think bears consume an average of 30,000 berries a day during the summer before hibernation?
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, there is no biblical law mandating berry consumption to that extreme extent. But these furry giants do know something about the power of a fruit forward diet in the beginning. So, fruit has been a part of our human existence since the beginning of time. After God created Adam and Eve, he told them,
Mhm.
I give you
Mhm.
every seed bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. We were just talking about that before, too, in Genesis 1. As you
Mhm.
probably expected, the first perennial food forest did not showcase the kinds of fruit displayed in the grocery store produce sections. Fruit has deviated from God's original design. We'll get there in a minute. First, let's look at the role of fruit in biblical history. So, in chapter 9, you learn about the Feast of Tabernacles, also known as the Feast of Booths and Sukkot in Hebrew. This celebration is marked by feasting and thanksgiving. for the bounty of fruit, including grapes, pomegranates, olives, dates, and figs. Even when the Israelites were not celebrating with bounty, fruit still represented God's promise to provide. Several biblical cities and towns are named after fruits, such as Anab, means grape in Joshua 11:21, and Rimmon, which means pomegranate in Joshua 15:32. Fruits are used as decorative elements, such as the pomegranates on Aaron's priestly garments in Exodus 28:33-34, and the engraved date palm trees in Solomon's temple. That's 1 Kings 6:29. Fruits are also central in stories, highlighted in the laws, underscored in curses and blessings, and used as literary devices to convey vivid imagery and emotions. Likewise, in ancient culture, fruit was not just a food source, but also a mark of health, wealth, and divine favor. Citrus fruits, like lemons, were considered expensive and prized in Roman culture. Ancient China favored peaches and pomegranates, which signify longevity and fertility. The Egyptians used images of figs, dates, and pomegranates as decorations in tomb paintings and actual fruit for offerings. The key to incorporating fruit into the Biblio diet is to consume fruits that are high in nutrition, high in fiber, and lower in sugar. So all the fruits we recommend fall under those guidelines. While common fruits like apples or bananas aren't discussed at length in this chapter, it's always better to consume some fruit than no fruit at all. However, commit to trying fruit that may be unfamiliar but packed with nutrition. One more thing. If you're healthy and active, stick with 3 to 4 servings of fruit per day. So take note if you're healthy and active. If you are not, you have any kind of metabolic disorder, fruit may not be the choice. And the way I look at fruit is that if you are going to consume fruit, that they should be locally grown, not things that are coming from other countries.
Right.
Because of the spores and everything in that environment. I believe that if God has placed you in a certain place in North America, then the fruit that is grown there is the fruit for you. Because he knew that's where you were gonna be. We don't have to have things shipped from around the world, whatever's grown in that area. And oftentimes it's very seasonal. It's only in that season. So I think that every area has the food that you need to nourish that population. That's my thoughts on that.
I agree.
So have you been diagnosed with, or do you battle any of the following? Weight gain. A lot of people battle that, including myself. Diabetes. Well, I would if I ate the other stuff, which I don't.
Right.
Cardiovascular issues, metabolic syndrome, polycystic ovarian syndrome, inflammatory conditions, candida overgrowth. So if that's the case, stick with 2 servings of low sugar fruits like avocado. Yes, avocado is a fruit. Lemons, limes, strawberries, blueberries, apples, especially green apples with the skin, blackberries, olives, also a fruit, and grapefruit. So like I said, because I am carnivore, I don't eat fruit, but I do use a little bit of lemon juice. Sometimes it's a little bit of lemon juice, a squeeze of lemon in hot water to drink or something like that. So if you want to count that, then maybe I do.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm not a real big fruit eater either, Yeah.
Well, I think of fruit more like a dessert,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's
And
true. Yeah, I don't eat it with a meal or anything. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so oftentimes people might have a meal and then maybe for dessert they might have a few berries or something like that. Berries have very little sugar in it, and also they're grown locally. I mean, here
Right.
strawberries are out in June, and a lot of people have a few strawberries, and I don't. For most people, that won't harm you. If you're allergic to strawberries, I guess it will.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. Right. 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 Yeah. My daughter just brought strawberries home the other day.
Mhm.
Because they're,
Yeah.
I guess they're going to be in season now, like you say. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's best to eat what's grown locally and in
hmm
season.
hmm
When you get stuff from another country, it's not natural, for one thing.
Right.
And who knows what they've sprayed on their
Right.
plants,
Right. Isn't that
right?
the truth? It's for sure.
Oftentimes, when fruit is transported from another country, it's transported um, unripened, and they spray it
Yes.
with chemicals to ripen it,
Right.
which is that really what you want to eat?
No.
Probably
No.
not.
No. Yeah. And like you say,
Yeah,
transporting it from, for so long. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Oh, it can't be
absolutely.
nutritious. It can't be nutritious. Yeah.
No, it's
No.
actually picked before it's ripe, and
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah.
sprayed to make it ripe. And I'm like,
Wow.
I don't think I like that one either.
No.
Or
Mm-mm.
just because the natural way would be you go to the tree and you pick the fruit off,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So you have to wait
Yes.
till harvest time to do that. And here our
hmm
harvest time doesn't start till August on some things, and maybe later
I
on
see.
some other things.
hmm hmm Right.
It's sort
Yep.
of a short growing season. But
That is. Yeah.
any other thoughts
Yeah.
on fruit there, Pat?
Not real. Well, I do eat a banana a day, that I do watch where they are come from, and
Mhm.
because it's supposed to be good for my blood pressure. So a small banana, just a small banana.
Potassium, yeah,
Yes, potassium. And that's if I don't have, and when she brings something home like strawberries or something in season, I
yeah,
don't eat a lot of fruit, like you say. I don't eat a lot of fruit. Vegetables
yeah,
are more for me. Yeah. hmm
yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are a lot of other things that are high or higher even in potassium, but anybody can look that up if they're interested.
hmm
I don't remember offhand because I ate that. I do
Oh,
use
and I used,
electrolytes,
oh dear. Okay.
and
I
my
used to eat
electrolytes have potassium.
okay. I used to eat a half a grapefruit too, that is supposed to be very, very good for you. But I can't
Mhm.
do that anymore because I take medication where you can't
That
eat a
you
grapefruit.
can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a good thing to mention that there are some foods that you
hmm
cannot use with certain medications.
Right.
So if you're
Right.
unsure about that, then check with your doctor to say, hey,
hmm
is there any kind of thing that I can't eat with this? And he'll let you know.
Exactly.
But grapefruit definitely
Yeah.
is one for several medications.
Right, right. And so many people, Kathy, will take all these medications and this and that and the other thing, and they don't even check with their doctor, over the counter things. And
Yes,
I think, oh my gosh, do you recognize, what you're doing to your body instead of eating
exactly.
food? Instead of eating the right food, you're taking all these supplements. I don't understand it nowadays. hmm
Yeah. And that happens. A lot of people are doing that. They hear something that's like,
Yeah,
oh, but you should take this. This is good for you. So they buy that one. And then
yeah,
they hear this about that. So they buy that one.
yeah.
Next thing you know, they've got this big basket for $400 or $500
Right.
a month of
Yeah.
all these supplements.
Yeah.
And they're not really eating food, or maybe they are
hmm
eating it. And you can really throw yourself off balance with that.
I would think
Oh,
so. I would think
yeah,
so.
because you can get the nutrients that you need from food. You
Right.
don't need to
Right.
be getting other stuff.
Mm-mm.
Now, like I said, I do sometimes take electrolytes, which is
hmm
salt and potassium and oh my goodness, um, can't even think of it. Magnesium, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, no salt or new salt, that's the magnesium, the potassium. So,
hmm
you know, um, I don't do it all the time, but
hmm
sometimes I do.
hmm
And I
hmm
just can kind of feel if maybe I need them. I find that if I have like cramps in my legs, that's going to help
Well, I was
me.
just gonna say, right, if it does that something like that for you, you know what I mean, then of
Right,
course you'd do that. Yes, exactly.
right. But I do see
Yeah.
people that are just popping everything because they
Yeah,
heard something somewhere, these
right?
advertisements coming up, and they're not checking with anybody, not
Oh,
even checking
no,
online. Check Dr. Google if you don't go anywhere else. See if there's any
that's true.
incompatibilities,
That's
you know.
true. Yeah,
But
Google
your
is
own,
our friend, right?
but
Hmm.
even your own family doctor, if you have certain health conditions, then some things might not be good for you.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Especially if you're getting older, maybe when you're young, you don't have to think about that. But I think you do nowadays because I'm hearing the younger people not so healthy anymore either. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hmm.
I just heard
Hmm.
one this morning, a prayer request for someone. The guy's 39 and died of heart attack, you know,
Oh,
like younger and
yes.
younger all the time.
Yes.
Uh, so
Yes.
we need
It's
to do
scary.
whatever we can do to
Hmm.
maintain our health, to improve our health, so that we can
Hmm.
serve God with all of ourselves, with our mind,
Right.
right? We need our mind and we need our physical
Mhm.
body.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
And people listening to this show should, be educated, with us talking like this. That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And what they don't know, they can start to research themselves. You know,
Hmm.
ask your
Right.
doctor, check with the
Right.
pharmacist too. If you're buying two
Hmm.
things, is it okay to take
That's
this with
true.
this?
That's true. That's true. I
The
forgot about that. Yeah. Hmm.
pharmacist would know.
Sure.
And you can check
Sure.
Dr. Google too, but Dr. Google's not always right.
I know.
And
I know.
you got to watch
Yeah.
that. Trust your real
I know.
doctor before you trust
Right.
Google.
Right.
Anyway,
Hmm.
let's close it up, Pat, and thank you for coming.
Okay.
Okay, let's
You're
pray.
welcome. Yes.
Father God, I thank you so much that you've given us everything that we need for life and godliness. You've given us the food from the ground. You've given us the beautiful sunshine that we get to feel, the raindrops, everything. You've given us a community. You've given us people, Lord, that we can connect with, that we can set an example for, but that we can learn from other people. Most of all, that we can learn from your word. Thank you for what we've learned tonight from the book that was written by Josh Axe and Jordan Rubin. I pray that you would bless them, Lord, as they share the message of eating a healthy diet. Lord, cause us this week to not listen to the liars. We are conquerors. We can soar on the wings of an eagle and
Hmm.
conquer this drive to want to eat garbage or eat too much.
Hmm.
I thank you, Lord, that you are faithful and we can look to you at all times for truth because you love us. In
Hmm.
Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Pat. Have a great week.
Bye. You too.
Yep. Bye bye.